Welcome back, After Show audience. As of late, a very long, unfortunate list came out about Shadman and some of the people who collaborated with him. A bit of a witch hunt has been going on. Anyone who pretty much sent the guy a DM is now being put under a microscope. And due to that, we have the unfortunate situation where Nuxanor, who is friends with Turkey Tom, was friends with Turkey Tom, was friends with Mudahar, still kind of is, Oompaville, Nicholas Deorio, all the pretty much commentary community Avengers. They ended up getting called out on Chud Logic's stream because Chud Logic found out that Nux had used Lolly in some of his thumbnails provided by Shadman. So, yeah.
Good old Shadman.
He kind of, the ghost of the commentary past is coming back to bite everyone in the ass, man. So, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the little snippet from Chud Logic's live where this takes place and give our thoughts as people who have seen some of it kind of unfolding, especially in the Lolcow universe. Well, with Keemstar being a part of it, because Shadman did draw his daughter disgustingly. Ugh.
Yeah, just to clarify to people who don't know who Shadman is, like he's described, Shadman is somebody who is like a first rights advocate who draws whatever he wants, draws lots of lolly. He's known for his lolly, and he's an artist for hire, so a lot of people have hired him to draw certain things or draw things for their channels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he's been around for a while. His name's been around for a while. I think it was only a couple of years ago where people were like, all right, you've drawn lolly, we're not doing with that. And he has been kicked off multiple platforms, but he keeps popping back up because essentially he can have his own website and he still has
gotten away. He's gotten away with a lot of stuff, but yeah, he's this is kind of like the end of him and pretty much anybody who has any association with him. So,
yep. Shout out to Chud Logic.
I don't know why you're going off chat. Chat just obviously want maximum drama.
That's wonderful.
There's no big deal here.
Because I'm scrolling back and I'm trying to see what it is. I still have literally no idea what the issue was.
Because there was no issue. There was nothing major. It was just the idea
I asked you and you were like, "Oh, don't worry about it, Nicholas," or whatever. Like, I just want to know what the fucking thing is.
Okay, all it is. Let's just clear this up now, okay?
Yeah.
Spoops became a member. Spoops celebrates 4 months of membership. Fair and unbelievably
all this is about is when we talked a bit about the Mutar stuff, and you said certain things to me that gave me a certain impression, right? So,
yes, which I still, by the way, I still think that's true to this point.
We'll just clarify. What can you say you think is true?
So initially, I was of the opinion that Mudahar told the actual truth on your stream, and took Nux because of the whole controversy that happened. And then,
so yeah, if you don't know, there was a clip going around because Mudahar did say that Nux being attached to Shadman was a big reason as to the ending of the podcast. And this stream is basically Chud Logic running with that information and saying, well, if he's a big reason as to the ending of the podcast, why are you guys still friends with him? So this is Chud
not only that,
him out.
Not only that, there's a little bit of snippet. I didn't even know this because I don't follow the Ordinary podcast, which they were on originally when Mudahar went on. He said, there is no final episode. We're done. Like the final episode, we're never going to shoot that. And they actually, a couple days ago, actually did release a final episode, which I think is why Chud Logic is like, what the fuck's going on? So.
Yeah, I mean, when you tell somebody that the pedo allegations are the reason you're no longer filming with them, and then you end up filming with them, it kind of makes it look pretty bad.
Looks pretty gross, honestly.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
And someone who reached out to me, how do I word this in a way that doesn't blow everything up? The person I'm speaking to did not speak to Mudahar. They spoke to a different party involved in the situation that wouldn't be biased with Mudahar or wouldn't care about what Mudahar said on your show.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me an entirely plausible reason as to why the podcast would end that wouldn't possibly interfere with, it wouldn't have anything to do with current comments and stuff like that. Like it was business stuff behind the scenes.
Okay.
To my knowledge, I still think that's the case. Because otherwise, way too many parts started moving around for there not to have been some sort of rift.
Sure, and I think this is what, you know.
Oh, so maybe
this is, I think, the clarified
thought they
with the further
weren't
comments
friends
and stuff,
anymore, it
right? Is
seems.
in terms of, I think the reason the final episode wasn't filmed as it was supposed to be, or wasn't released as it was supposed to be, was because the Shadman stuff overshadowed that, right?
Yeah.
But then the show was ending anyway, so it wasn't seen as that big a deal, and some new format was coming down the line, right?
By new format, I think it's very clear that like Gamer from Mars produced that podcast.
Okay.
Right?
Someone in chat said it.
Yeah, no, that's known. Gamer from Mars produced that podcast. I think the new format is just them all working separately.
Right. Okay.
I don't know if it means the three of them are going to be.
That Gamer from Mars produced the podcast,
but
by the
my
way.
understanding is that's the like
I
they're
did.
not.
Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah,
like Gamer from Mars and them are not doing the podcast.
Okay. But then,
how can you say that's
now
a
I got
format?
in trouble. Fuck.
Like we're all gonna go our separate ways.
Yeah,
That's the new format of our podcast.
I'm in trouble.
Right.
So a little bit. So they do talk about this on the episode. The restructuring.
Oh, Turkey Tom's
quick.
here. Great. We can talk to him about his retarded.
Yeah.
It's really weird how they're describing it. They're saying the podcast is over, but really it's like Mutahar went out to Texas with Oompaville, recorded a lot of content, talked about a lot of content, and now all of a sudden he wants to do IRL like podcast setting stuff. So that's the way he described it. So it's like a new format, but
Well, he's
they
doing
didn't really
like
specify.
IRL. Like I think that's what.
He's doing the same thing. It's just different style. So it is like different format, but like they never really clarify like saying like, oh, the official podcast or the Ordinary Gamers podcast is over.
Yeah.
Well, like they're just saying there's a new format coming. Well, it's really strange.
Turkey Tom is about to jump in call right now, and he's kind of like where the bigger. Like, because Turkey Tom is more so the I don't really give a damn type of person. Like, a lot of the time when he covers drama, it's like, this is kind of stupid. I don't really care, but it's entertaining. And he doesn't really pick sides all too much. But
pretty unbiased.
Pretty unbiased. But this is like, Chud kind of tries to like talk to him and be like, well, what do you think about this? And Tom is the guy who's like, if this is true, if these allegations are correct, then yeah, dude's a little weird. So... But yeah, he's about to come in and the pot's actually going to start to stir up.
Yeah, and it does also seem pretty much like a firing, which I watched some of this earlier. And Mutahar is trying to kind of be evasive about that, but you don't get to do IRL regular like podcasts with a VTuber.
Yeah, you can't do it because I mean, they can do like, I know that like Fillion and Chibi and all them, they like are able to do not necessarily IRL stuff, but like they can stream their character on IRL streams. They're just not there. So, but
yeah,
I feel like they wouldn't want to deal with that headache.
Yeah, and some of them do go straight up, like they'll just wear a mask and be out in public. Some of them are fine doing that.
Swagger Souls is a good example. He since the beginning of like the Misfits, he's always wore that the helmet that he wears, but whenever he went out, like obviously some people that's impractical to wear to like say like an airport or like for like a major stream where it's like a long period of time. So he'd wear it a balaclava. So
yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of different things that they could do, but most likely if they were going to be doing IRL stuff, they wouldn't want to have to deal with that just to accommodate him. That's
right.
Like
And they probably asked him behind the scenes, like, "Hey, like we want to move to the next step of this podcast.
It's possible.
This would mean that you need to either own up to being who you are, or you need to step away." And he just probably chose to step away.
Maybe. I don't know. That's more conspiracy brain than anything. But it's all entirely possible. Well, I guess we'll find out in the coming days and coming weeks because they said that they are still going to be doing a podcast with him. So
the Beast takes two. Let's get him in here. Come on.
This is what I get. I'm in trouble. Fuck. I'm going to Tom Court now. I'm going to Tom Court.
We're doing it. We need a final solution to the Nux Tahku question. Ladies and gentlemen, okay?
Yeah,
nervous laugh from Tom. No, bro, listen, I've got to be real with you guys, okay? I'm feeling a bit fucking perturbed right now, okay?
Before we ask this question, just to give all context to any party who might have any like knowledge on this, what I told Chud Logic was that it couldn't possibly have been related to the Nux Tahku Shadman stuff because there was a business thing behind the scenes that wouldn't have anything to do with that occurred.
Just the
To be clear, that's
Nicholas
what
Deorio covering his
Dojangle
ass.
said on Twitter too.
Yeah.
So
Yes, Dojangles said that.
yeah, no, I watched that clip of Mudahar, and my interpretation was like, and I'm friends with Mudahar. My interpretation was like, either it's somehow the worst misspeak in history, or in the moment he felt pressured and he said something completely retarded and false.
Yeah, I think you made a video about it. I didn't watch it, to be fair, but I just
Yeah.
it's just a bit dude, like, look, I don't want to fucking suck my own dick and be the victim, Andy. Okay, but I do feel like I got kind of fucked over my quality of my
He
coverage
did.
according to questions
He
by a bunch of
did.
Yeah.
Nux
He did.
Tahku
Mudahar, he
retard
absolutely
Nux fans.
did.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't do anything wrong. I just presented what I was told, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then apparently it changed
Yeah.
after the fact, and then I was wrong. Even though at the time I was going off the information that I've been told. That's
Oh,
insane.
That I would be he has every right to be upset with Muda on that. Because like the way he portrayed it literally sounded like it was ending because of possible pedo allegations. So
Yeah, he had like there was like that little bit of like distaste, like he could hear it in Muda's voice, like yeah, no, this isn't, yeah, we're not filming the last episode. Like you could hear it in his voice, like that's originally what it was. So I don't really know why Muda went on there and with that attitude or with that idea.
well, he got more so hit with it than anything. I don't think like from what I remember. But I do feel for Chud because it's like, yeah, dude, you were given bad information, so you spread bad information.
Right.
It makes you
But
makes you look unreliable.
But it was bad information from the primary source. Like he came on and said, yeah, in part due to these allegations.
Yep.
Yeah,
Muda fucked up.
Well, in particular, because he was pulled up in the video.
Are you talking about because you had comments that were something to the effect of? And I'm just guessing here, like
because Mudahar went on the stream and said, "I'm done with this" or whatever in regards to the Nux Shadman stuff. But then in the video, they're like, it was a business reason. So the people in this chat don't believe that, and there's nothing public that like supports that. But that's the reality of the situation.
Right.
But then that's a downplay
and Chud got fucked because there's no, Chud got fucked.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody should be mad at Chud. That's what Mudahar said. So, like,
yeah,
what
sure.
else
But then the problem is, I feel like there's a bit of cover being given to Nux Tahku. Like, Nux Tahku was a total freak. Do you agree with that? He's a total lolicon weird freak guy that is like permissive of lolicon shit, but acts like he isn't.
Yeah. So I was just watching the because you were watching some of the.
I don't think there's enough information to say that.
Or so. What's like the TLDR on it?
Well, the TLDR is now he's trying to act.
Like the guy absolutely enjoys his hentai, but I don't know about the whole lolicon stuff. I haven't seen any like legitimate stuff to come out that says that. Not me, at least.
I haven't heard the claim before, but I think it'd be easy to fact check. But there's an issue with VTubers. That a lot of them have that kind of really dark humor, so they'll reach and really go out there. And like I think there's a Pippa clip where Pippa seems like she's being pro lolly, and she isn't. So
they do a very fine line of acting like an adult and then acting like a child. Like the VTuber community is super into like baby talk and baby voice and just attracting a certain type of audience.
Yeah, it's certainly weird. I've always thought that was weird.
It's fucking weird.
I shared, by the way, I don't know if you want to use this or not, but it's some of Nux's discussions with Shadman in the general chat.
Yeah, I think I've seen some of those.
Yeah,
maybe we can get back to him.
Like he's so anti-Shadman and would have pressed him on stream, and he's super anti all the lolicon shit and thinks it's all gross. But he's participated in. He's done the kind of thing previously where he's gone, "Oh guys, look at this. This is so gross and wrong, isn't it?" Right? And he's used sort of certain artwork in his thumbnails that I think indicates that he is a weird little freak, and he tries to sort of obfuscate it by acting like he's just showing you because it's gross.
That is
my guess would be that Nux Tahku is probably spineless more than anything. And when it's convenient to cash in on that kind of stuff, he'll cash in. And when it's not, he won't. That's kind of my impression.
He probably didn't.
That's right. That's my
closest to heavy intention behind it.
Yeah.
But I
don't.
What was it?
I agree that like he's really spineless because like even in that podcast, I did watch that episode and like he was like really anti, like, oh, I would never, like, oh, my friendship with him is very baseline and all this and that. But he's like he had it as a profile pic or as a YouTube thumbnail and shit like that. It's like,
Well, he
and
was
he's like, oh, as soon as I
capitalizing on
found out, I
shock
removed
value.
it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and then to turn around and detest it like immediately. It's gross.
Yeah, this is clout chasing, which a lot of people were doing off of Shadman.
I don't know that he's a lolicon, but my
Sure, to be
impression
clear,
is
when I
that
say
is fine with
that,
fish.
I'm being a bit hyperbolic. I don't know if he's there jerking it to lolicon. Just to be clear, okay, I could not say one way or another.
Definitely
But
hentai.
clearly, he is benefiting while the hay is good to be
Oh, yeah,
made.
he loves his
And then
hentai.
later on, he's going, "Oh no, that's all gross." And I was only ever pressing people about it and going after people for it and criticizing it, right?
Yeah, and to be clear, I don't think he would have like seriously pressed Shadman. Has he ever done like an interview where he was like ripping into someone? Like I haven't seen that.
Not
No,
really.
exactly. And I think the other issue for me as well is the fact that, from my perspective at least, Mutahar said a certain thing on stream, and later it kind of changed.
I looked on the
And I
side
think it
here,
was trying to
and
kind
I
of
do see
Mhm.
that he has spoken out a lot against Lolly. Like he's for at least a year now, he's equated it to pedophilia.
Yeah, but that also goes against the fact that like he will do like Rule 34, like find the most fucked up porn you can, and et cetera, et cetera. So it's like on one hand you're saying, okay, this thing is bad, but I'm also gonna capitalize off of it. You know, it's he has a very edgy humor to him, sure. And I do admit it's funny. He does do a lot of like really terrible jokes and all that, a lot of self-deprecating jokes, but when there's so many different coincidences, they are no longer coincidences. Like I don't think he's into Lolly. I just think he likes to really play that character. Like he really likes to walk the line and push the note, you know, push it as far as he can.
Yeah.
skate and give Nux Tahku a bit of an out, because my understanding of it is I don't think that the last episode got filmed because the Shadman stuff, overrode it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you have on one hand him saying what he said on your stream, and then you have on the other hand them saying it was like a business thing and they'll still be doing stuff with Nux. So, I don't know. It's
why is there a discrepancy? Why is there such a discrepancy?
Well, I think you either have to assume that one of them is the truth or the other is the truth, because one of them must be a lie, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they both could be true as well.
And maybe to some people this isn't a big deal, but it's like, I don't know, it seems pretty fucking crazy that there's this discrepancy that exists between what was said on my stream and then later it's apparently totally different. And then apparently the last episode wasn't going to come out and then it did come out. Like, there's a lot of confusing aspects to this.
I feel like that's by design. I feel like you got fucked, and I do think it's problems. That's my opinion.
I think you got mind fucked.
I think the intent was to.
What do you mean I got mind fucked, Tom? What do you mean by that?
I think you got fucked. Yeah.
What mind fucked? That suggests that, like, what does that mean?
I think you got mind raped. I think you got Delawared.
Bro,
so here's what I think.
I think Chud got taken down to Delaware.
I think Mutahar got on stream. He saw that, you were questioning him about it. And he, in the moment, I think he said something that wasn't really true. That's what I think.
I love Mutahar. I think he cut.
Why would he say something that isn't true? There was no pressure to do so.
I wrote this to DMs. I think he was playing to chat. I think he lied.
Chud's losing it.
Yeah, basically that.
I haven't spoken to him, but I think he lied.
He really doesn't like being lied to.
Get Rooter on here right now.
Well, it makes him the liar, so I can understand.
We need to fucking sort this out right now. I'm going to lose it.
He's not going to be able to tell you either. I think I've even told you privately.
Right now, I'm going to lose it.
Fuck.
If I had to guess,
Hey,
I think
in the commentary,
your
in the commentary community, man.
To be honest with you,
it's all about who you can trust.
He didn't exactly benefit from that call, did he?
No,
and he's
but
always
no pressure.
talking in the background
about the situation, and he said something with very little pressure.
But I agree with Chud. I think that Muda should. If you're gonna put Chud in the fucking video, you probably should. You want to clear it up first, right? Chud was kind of the fall guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chud's the fall guy.
Okay. Thank you guys for recognizing. I mean, listen, I'm not.
Chud is like, he's like, yes, I'm vindicated. I'm not crazy. I'm not. No, I feel for the guy.
Yeah, we all heard it. I don't know how Chud would be the guy getting any kind of shit when it's what Muda said.
Right. Well, and that's the thing though, is like it it doesn't matter because people are gonna be like, oh, I heard this, or like if Chud goes, well, Muda said this, and people are gonna be like, well, yeah, but now I heard that from you, who heard it from him, and like you didn't fact check it enough. And it's like, what do you mean I didn't fact check it? I got it from the person who should know. Like, so yeah, I hear it.
Great.
Do that. But fuck me, I felt a bit insane about this. Because bear in mind, when they
you
released
ended the podcast. You ended the somewhere.
When they released the last episode, I said to my editor, I was like, bro, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Just salvage what you can and make me look not retarded. Because it felt like the rug had been, you guys know what it's like. When you're up against a massive channel, you're fucked. It doesn't matter what the truth is, you're fucked, no matter what you do.
I think generally the best approach for a situation like this, where you're in Mudahar's position and people are, calling out your friend who you collaborate with and saying you need to cut ties with this guy. If you hadn't heard about this stuff before, what you do is you look into all of it impartially, behind the scenes, without being public yet. You look into all of it. You see what's true. You see what's fake. You see what aligns with your ideals. And then after that, you made a statement. And I don't know if Mudahar had done that, to be honest.
Well, and even then, people will accuse you of being scared and not wanting to talk, not wanting to make a video on it, et cetera, et cetera. You're one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't type of things.
Well, that even in the original video, Tom is right. Like Muda admits, it looks sketchy, and I haven't gone further into it. I've asked him about it, and he's willing to see more stuff. So he was in that mode of making a statement before finishing his own research.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on that one.
Well, listen, I'm not looking to be obnoxious about this. If Mutahar wants to talk, I'll speak to Mutahar. Probably doesn't want to because it caused problems before, but fuck me, dude. I will happily hash it out. But other than that, I mean,
you guys sort of you kind of got gorilla moded on that one, buddy.
Yeah,
he is so internet brain.
You know what I mean? I'm the guy who's on the
his
movie
brain is just internet
behind.
soup, man.
So it is what it is.
The black guy in a horror movie.
Yeah, getting left to get stabbed by the Indian killer.
The Indian killer.
I don't know if that's a thing. Maybe in Bollywood. Anyway, I'm not looking to make it all about myself, okay? That was a good conversation anyway, but it's just a bit frustrating. Thank you for hearing me out. Thank you for giving some takes. Anyway, listen, people are saying that you're sweeping for Nux. I don't want to make it all about me and my pet issues, but I don't know what people are talking about. I feel like we've hashed it out. I mean, are you friends with Nux? Do you accept he's probably a weird freak? Like, what's the deal there?
I got to watch the Harmful Opinions video, but if what you said is true, then probably, yeah.
Are you going to watch it on stream or off stream, do you reckon?
I'll probably watch it on stream.
Okay, fair enough. There we go, guys. So Tom is going
Harmful Opinions is cool. He's been around for a while. His whole community fucked him during the Candid stuff. I know Tom made a video about it.
Yeah, he's been kind of like a silent assassin for a long time.
Oh yeah, maybe we'll check it out.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
he's like I don't even know if there's another comparison. I was gonna make a comparison. I don't think it exists, but yeah, with the Candid stuff, he was really good. That was back in the day. Interesting saga to look into with the skeptic guys, but yeah, he's always been pretty base from what I've seen.
Thank you for calling in. You totally fucked, dude. You fucked this whole thing up because Chud was throwing me under the bus, and I didn't get my righteous redemption.
No, it's fine.
What do you mean righteous redemption?
Dude, Chud was just like, dude, it's all Nick's fault, all right? And he was in the chat just telling everybody that, I was sweeping for Nux Tahku because I'm a huge Nux fan.
I just think that, obviously Lolicon is a bit of a pet issue in the community, and I get it. I fucking think it's fucked up shit. It's just a bit frustrating, I think, that Nux Tahku clearly is playing with this stuff at the very least in the past. And he gets this free reign to be on a massive podcast to talk about it, and no one's like, Nux Tahku, you're a total freak. Get away from me, right?
Who do you think likes Nux?
But he's not wrong though. When you're small, going up against a 1 million view channel or something, it's a whole other deal.
Yeah, the truth doesn't matter.
No, it definitely doesn't.
Well, listen, I don't know what your guys' perspective is. Maybe I'm asking too high a standard. Maybe
video on Zero?
No.
You should watch this video on Zero.
Dude, just fill me in. Just give me the fucking headlines, okay?
Dude, listen, normally when people say stuff like, I'm in a dark place, I just assume that's fake and stuff. But I actually knew this guy, and I know he was really suicidal. So for once, it's actually true.
Yeah, no, I don't like Nux Tahku.
Tom, what are your thoughts on Nux Tahku?
He is a bit
What
cringe.
you say is true about him having, did you say he had Lolligan videos or something?
I want to be clear and specific. There isn't a silver bullet that there's not footage of him jerking off to Lolicon, so you can't get him on that necessarily.
But did he have it like in a video on YouTube?
I think there's a thumbnail which has got a Shadman image in it, which he claims he changed in 15 minutes in one of his videos because he recognized the mistake. But then there's another.
Woody, I know, like I watch him. I watch Nux Tahku. What about you guys? Because I feel like either you hate him or you like him. I feel like there's nothing else.
I'm in the middle. Like I don't like. Here's the thing. Like when like this whole like he made the thumbnail a Shadman image.
Mm-hmm.
I know that whenever I have been editing a video, I have my own channel, and it asks me like if it doesn't pull something straight from the video, you have to put in your own. So there is a process that has to be done to get to that image as a thumbnail.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't necessarily. Yeah, but you don't necessarily know if it is something, right? Because you can go and find an image of anything out there and not know what the content of it is. But he already know that that's what he was. You could even buy something from. I would assume you could even buy something from Shadman, and it had nothing to do with Lolly. But the problem is that you're still supporting somebody who does it. And the question is like, did he buy? Well, that's what I'm saying. The question is, did he buy it after it got found out that Shadman was doing all that, or did he buy it before? And then after learning it, did he take it down? Which, Chud Logic does say that he did it. He has a single thumbnail on his second channel that's still up.
Shadman has such an obvious art style. Everyone knows it. Anyone who's on the internet, like there's no way he could accidentally into a Shadman picture. As far as me watching Nux, I've only ever seen him when he's been on VTuber collabs, and he's always been the worst part of the collab.
He's quite the cringe guy. Oh man, I do want to jump forward to like Mudahar because like here, between him, Nick, and Tom is pretty much just them going back and forth about like. What is he? Is he weird? Is he not weird? And they only start pressing Muda once he joins in.
Anything else you want to hash out from the video?
So I just sorry, I was like taking a shower and all that shit, but I was watching the Harmful Opinions video. I watched through a decent amount of it. Yeah, it seems to me like Nux is a completely unprincipled person, basically, on this shit, and basically willing to use the degenerate stuff when it's convenient, and then. When it's called out, he's like, well, I never really did that. I feel like that's, And also, like, if those videos aren't age restricted, I feel like they definitely should be, because you probably shouldn't be showing, porn like that on a website where I know it's censored or whatever, but even censored stuff, like, you probably shouldn't be showing that consistently to a website full of minors in the context of, like, haha, funny joke. And then, who knows what they get into as a result of that. That's basically my takeaway.
Wait, you show porn in those videos?
I mean, Nux's whole thing on YouTube is like porn reactions, right?
Mm-hmm. He does do a lot of that. He does do a lot of that.
Stuff's not good.
I've got nothing to say, bro.
I'm not sure that's his whole thing.
It's not his whole thing, but he does do a lot of shock value content with other YouTubers.
Yeah.
So,
hey, my social batteries are at 0. Tom's just come in and said that. I mean, what more is there to say? I don't know.
Yeah, what other people do is up to them, but I'm gonna try to get Nux to talk about this video on stream at some point. But
again, my biggest issue with Nux is his video defending Zero. I thought that was out of pocket, and I think that's still up. So I don't know.
I people can do what they want to do, but I personally don't really want to do anything with Nux Tahku anymore. So yeah, there you go. Is that what you wanted, Chud? The disavowal?
Well, no, dude, that's so gay. I was happy to move on from this and never care again.
But yeah,
but I appreciate it nonetheless. Okay, thank you.
He seems very, very.
I'm saying there's a lot of pictures running around, but so is Zero. He's like a person. He's still kicking. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, bro, I'll let you deal with whatever that is. But as far as Nux, I don't know. I don't really, I don't really want to do content with him. I feel like his commentary is kind of hindered by the fact that he is clearly kind of unprincipled on this stuff.
What would he have to
say
do
the
for you
least.
to change your perspective on that? Do you think?
What would
I feel like this is just a big old witch hunt. Honestly, I like you can turn around and say he was doing it for clout. That's like I think the most egregious thing here. Because we do have, like last we said, like right, like Jack Doherty. Jack Doherty is pretending to catch a predator style shit. Is he really doing something wrong? Yeah, you're kind of like you look at it and you're like, damn, this is trash. You're only doing this type of stuff for entertainment. And Nux is kind of in the same boat. He used like the Shadman images for shock value. He does the Rule 34 for shock value, for clicks, for hate follows. And he like his tagline in most of his videos is like, here, check out some of these other videos that'll most likely get me canceled. Like that's kind of his whole thing, is that he totes the line between what's okay and what's way too edgy. That's kind of his like shtick, basically. So I don't think that he's like a lolly freak. I just think that he just plays in the gray area way too much.
Well, I think the thing that he did wrong was lying about why he was reaching out to Shadman. He for sure was not strictly going to make a video being critical of him. He was going to try and use him for clout and content. So, like, it's just an after the fact defense to say, oh, I was going to interview him and harass Shadman, and that's why I was reaching out. It's not believable considering his other content that he wouldn't have been more friendly.
Right. Well, and then on top of that too, like even the videos he pointed to as like, hey, this is what like look at this. I am known for like going in on these guys. He doesn't really like hammer them. Nux isn't that type of guy who's going to sit down and be like, well, you're a piece of shit. You did all these bad things. I have all this evidence against you. His more so going to be like, yeah, but look at this. Like he's more of a troll, because like the videos he pointed to was like him showing a voice actor doing like really bad voice acting skills, or having really bad voice acting skills. It's like, that's a troll. You're not really going in after the guy. You're just more so making fun of him. So
yeah, and it's fine, by the way, if you want to be friends with Shadman and do positive Shadman content, but just own it, just admit to it. Like, you know,
I don't know about if it's fine.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't know about if it's fine. Hold on there, ChillForce. We gotta watch what we're saying here.
You were gonna
Hold
say,
on.
You were saying like it's fine if you want to be like that. It was like, I guess so. Yeah, fuck you. But
I think what you're meaning to say is it's one thing to do stuff with Shadman and understand what you're getting into. It's another to understand what you're getting into and then say you disavow it.
Well, yeah,
exactly.
You can't pretend to be one way in the DMs and then another way out front. Like you can't.
It's the hypocrisy.
Yeah, you can't be that guy.
There you go.
But it's so old. It's so long ago. It's so old. He did address it in a video, but it's like he addressed it in a way that made him look the best. Like he didn't want to turn around and say, look, I was using it for hate clicks. I was using it to be for cloud. I was da-da-da-da-da, which is like the most truthful thing. Like, come on, dude. Seriously. Right. Like it's the most truthful thing you can be. He didn't want to say that because then people are going to be like, oh, so you were just using pedophiles for clout? And it's like, I mean, yeah. Oh my God. It's stupid. I don't think, I don't know. I don't think much of it. What about you guys? Any final thoughts on it? Because I honestly think it's like he's weird and he's odd and he fucked up, but he's not a pedophile, nor is he like pedophile adjacent. He's not a pedophile defender. He's not any of that. He was young and dumb and was trying to make a name for himself, right? And when you're trying to climb that ladder, I mean, come on, man. Like Wings of Redemption, Boogie, Keemstar, and like look at Shoe Nice. Like, you know, fantastic, like fantastic examples of trying to climb that ladder and doing almost anything to make it there.
I think in viewing this story, I'm more interested in kind of all the personalities involved and how they're kind of breaking down. You have a guy like Chud Logic or like Turkey Tom who seem very real. They're very open and honest about what exactly they think. And I don't get the feeling like, oh, they're going to hop back and forth in order to get clout or to keep from getting out of trouble. But then you see Mutahar doing exactly that, being honest at first and then lying whenever he makes his own defensive video or whatever, his own explanation. You have Nux himself definitely liked Shadman and was then pretending to disavow whenever it became more cool to disavow than not. And then you have Nick Deorio, who just goes into everyone's ear whispering sweet nothings, whatever makes them happiest at the time, and just bounces all around and he just doesn't seem like a real person, someone who's honest about what's actually in their head and how they feel about things.
I feel like Ludwig is way more easier to say that about than Deorio, but I feel like Deorio is more so the guy. I feel like Deorio more so finds himself as the beginning of the telephone, where he has all this information and he tells this person that thing, that person that thing, and then by the time it gets back to him, it's like, whoa, that's not at all what I said. But it's like, hey, man, you might not want to be saying a lot of everything to everyone.
Well, he was on one stream with Chud Logic where it was way back to the NDA drama with Tommy. And when Keem appeared, he just started kissing up to him, like kissing his ass, and what was completely on like riding Keem's dick. He was not being direct and saying what he actually thought. How do I know that? Because he admitted it later whenever he was talking to Tommy about it.
Well, yeah, Chud called him out on it in that live.
Well, yeah,
he's a glazer to your face, and he's a hater and behind you.
Exactly. So
but the thing is like, dude, it's all on the internet, man. Like everyone's streaming, everyone's recording, everyone like, oh, you gotta keep it straight. You gotta, yeah. Zeph,
I think that's part of his personality. I think. As for the Shadman and the Nux stuff, like I agree, it's a witch hunt. Does Nux deserve to be put up on a pike? No. Does he need to come out and like completely disavow and just like make sure he stays in one lane? Yeah. It should serve it as a lesson. Granted, this is a very serious lesson. You don't want to really be associated with somebody like Shadman, but treat it as a lesson and be like, hey man, I said some shit in the past. I don't agree with it now. I'm no longer associated with that guy. But don't like keep flip flopping back and forth. Don't be boogie and just like not have an excuse one minute and then have an excuse the next. Like you got to pick a lane and stick to it. And I think Nicholas Deorio here is also someone who needs to do that. But I also think that's kind of Nicholas Deorio's persona. I think that's kind of part of his online personality. He's like I'm a hater behind you, but I'm gonna ride that dick while I'm right in front of you. Like I'm gonna hype.
That's an odd personality to have.
It is, but let me tell you, it works because he says all these nice things to people, and then people like tell him things, and then he gets behind that person. He's like, hey, look, guess what I just found out? Hey,
that's true.
So I think he yucks it up in person, and then behind it, he's using it to his advantage. But just be true to yourself on the internet, man. Like if you're gonna say something, stick to it. Don't change your mind 30 seconds later. Now if you're like pulling like a Wings of Redemption and 7 years have gone by and you said something crazy 7 years ago and you're like, that was a different guy back then. That's one thing. And then, of course, Wings haters or
everyone matures everyone matures as they get older. But you should always say you should always say what you mean and mean what you say. It doesn't matter who's there.
Yep.
Yeah.
You heard it as Complexity's favorite line. 10 toes down to 6 feet deep.
Well, you heard it here first. The after shows calling out Nick Deorio for being fake.
Oh yeah.
And full of it.
Well, he can't even join the LOLCal Live Discord. He got banned. Oh man. All right. Well, let us know what you guys think about Nux in the comments below, or what you guys think about it even being an issue. Honestly, for me, I think that way more investigation needs to be done into people like Belle Delphine, who was working with Shadman. Like that, I can 100% see, and I've already said it, I can 100% see the lolly coming out of that friendship. But we'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.
Thanks for coming out.